Steve with Rank and File Forge here, back today. I don't have my buddy Daryl in the shop today. He's got other commitments to do. Today we're going to go over this gas tank. I'm actually going to drill a hole. I'm going to install the universal sending switch. I have to drill a hole, find out what I need for height, then I can go in my charts. I can set the float at the height that I need. As you can see, I did a little bit of work. I realized that I couldn't get the gas tank out of the framework that I built. So I ended up trimming here. I don't know if you probably can't see it, but I got the cross member here. I trimmed it out, then I added a piece of steel to reinforce it so I didn't lose any strength on that. I mean, it's only holding wood. This is not a work truck by any stretch of the imagination. I just want to keep it strong enough so if I want to sit in here, I can do that or do whatever I want to do. So I got the gas tank back in. I did put a little bit of splash of black paint, not to make it a show truck by any means, but just to kind of protect it. I had some bare metal. I just wanted to coat it, minimize rust and rotting and stuff. So I got the gas tank back in here. To jump right into it, I figured out the center here. I did a mark where I'm going to drill a hole saw for my universal fuel sending switch. I'm very nervous about drilling into the gas tank. Never drilling the gas tank, but it's a brand new gas tank. There's no fuel in here. Last video I did, we had a lot of fuel fumes from when we took out the old gas tank. For safety, I didn't want to do any welding or anything until I had those fumes gone. They're gone. It's good. The old gas tank is outside, so I vented outside. No smells in here. It's nice and clean. But gonna get into this. Gonna start drilling the hole. Hang on. Okay, getting set up to drill the hole saw. I got a good hole saw. It looks dirty, but it's actually a really good shape hole saw. This is all about safety first. So what I'm gonna do is when you work in a hole saw into sheet metal, it is extremely dangerous. You wanna use two hands, go slow, be cognizant of what you're doing, because this thing, when you're drilling to sheet metal, it will tear your wrists apart. So please be careful. I did my mark, I actually started the pilot bit in there. I'm gonna set it up, face shield for protection, and go slow. Like that. Actually, that wasn't too bad because I took this hole saw seriously. Awesome. The next stage is I got to get all those metal shards out of the tank. What I'm going to end up using is pulling the tank out. I'm going to try and shake out what I can. I do have the other fuel sending switch in here, and I do not want to damage it because that's what's going to be feeding fuel to my engine. When I'm done, I think I'm going to run a cloth around a magnet, maybe go along the bottom, try and drive all the shards to one spot, hit it with a shop vac. I can get my shop vac in here, and let's see if we can clean it up a bit. Okay, got my little shop vac handy. Before I disturb this, I want to try and vacuum as much. I'm minimizing the amount of metal shards that are inside the tank. So. Okay, did a little bit of vacuuming to start. I do need to get in there. Toss that over there. What I've got here is I've got a magnet, a welding magnet that I use. I'm going to wrap it in a cloth. I don't want to scratch the tank. And I'm going to go underneath and try and catch all the metal filings into one bit. I did lose the slug. When I drilled the slug, it fell in the tank. Nothing I can't get out. I do have some big holes here. But I'm going to pull out these last two bolts, slide the tank out. I'm going to see if I can shake it all into a pile, vacuum it out, and see what I can do to get as many, if not all, the shards out. So I'm having a little bit of tough time getting it out. So I've got a light. That doesn't work for the crap. Got a light here. Let's see if I can shine in and see if I can find it. Magnetos take these things. If you don't have one in your toolbox, get it just an occasion like this. I get this. I'm trying to find out where it is. But I'm not seeing this. So science. Okay. Let's get this like this. I have no idea how to get that up. Nope. So I did originally, I tried this magnet on here and it's not having a lot of luck on it, but I'm kind of hoping that somehow locate this to where I need. I don't know where it is. Don't want to pull the gas tank around and don't have to. Oh, I see it right there. Look at that. If I get it out. You gotta be. Success. This little slug would have given me grief. I got most of the filings out for when I drilled the hole just by use of the vacuum cleaner, so that helps. I'm glad I got that out, so go over there, file it. I think I'm at least put clean in there. I don't see any filings. Probably run the vacuum in here. Bear with me for a couple seconds. I think I'm happy with that. Yeah, so what I'm gonna do is clean it up. I'm gonna put it back in the truck, and then I'm gonna set up the fuel setting switch. It's easier working up when it's in there. All right, got the gas tank into the truck again. I just threw a couple bolts in here. I'm not gonna make everybody watch me install bolts. Pretty boring to watch, I'm sure. Trying to keep this as clean as I can. You can see I got the 1.5-inch hole here, as per the manufacturer, to drop the fuel setting switch in. The first thing that I need to do, and I'm going to do, is I'm supposed to find your depth there. The depth of the tank is about 7.25 max inch from here. So, according to the charts, this pivot point, sorry, I should pull this right here. The pivot point for right here, there's a little screw and there's a little line on the manufacturer. That should be halfway. So if you're looking at 7 inches, this should be at 3.5 inches from the bottom side. It's 7 1/4 almost, so I mean I could give it a generous 3.5, 3 5/8 inches to the center. And then after that, then we'll adjust this as per the chart. And I'll get to that in a sec. And screwdriver, here we go. Looks just really easy. This actually comes capable of adjusting to a 25-inch deep tank. I don't have that because it's a flat tank as opposed to upright. My other tank was probably about, well, it's probably about 12 inches deep, and that's what I guessed before. So now I gotta go do these two screws. There's two Phillips screws right here. Robertson screws would have been really nice. As a Canadian, we like our Robertson screws. Not a big deal. We're going to adjust it to I'm going 3 5/8, and I think that's going to do it. I'm going to tighten up the screws, and we're going to see if we can, if it held there, if it moved, or whatever. Pretty simple. I'll tighten up the wiring afterwards. There we go. 3 5/8 to the center, from here to the center, getting midway to the tank. This should not hit the bottom of the tank. I'll run that through and I'll try it. I'll drop it in there. I did have a question from somebody that watched my video, which is awesome. I love hearing questions, and if I don't know something, I'm definitely going to research and find out. They're asking if this gets shortened up and this gets shortened up, is it not going to have a different level reading? No. You're going to have the center of the tank no matter what. This throw, whether the float is here or here, is going to capture what's in there in the tank. If you have it too long, it's going to take too long to go up, something like that. I'm not 100% sure, but it is designed to work at different heights. So I don't think I'm going to have to cut this down, but I'm going to just drop it in just to see for giggles. See, I can't even get it in now. There's another reason to cut the wire down. I can't even drop it in. I may have to cut that down just to get that in. No problem. I'm going to give this a little cut here. I'm going to pull the rod out, and I'm going to have to adjust it anyway, so I'm going to pull it out and see what I need to do. Got the float off. Found turned out to be a little bit of a chore. Not a big deal, nothing we can't handle here. Tighten up a bit, we'll get that. Oh. Well, I think it fits. Yeah, tighten up that wire for sure, so that's going to be grief if I have to go in and out anymore. Tougher than that. No problem. No problem. There's a will, there's a way. So it didn't bottom out there. I don't know if I should have had a better look at it, but there's some filings. I think I'm going to give this a little cut. I think it's going to save me some grief getting in and out. I'm going to tighten up the wires. It just coils around there a couple times nice and tight. That's all they do from the factory here, but it just keeps it tight out of the way. Give this a cut. I'll be right back. Okay. Got the fuel sending switch down. I deburred it very gently. I didn't want to heat up because I know there is plastic there. Got it all tied up, fits in nice. There's a little nub on the back here. What I did, I just ground it down, just made it easier to get in. I think it's supposed to be a wire holder, and I think it kind of keeps the wire together on the deeper tanks. Smaller tank, I don't think I need it. Trying to figure out right now what I'm going to do with the float. I don't have the float in yet, but it's going to sit like that. And I think it's going to be perfect right there. And what I've got there, I put a little line just trying to find it. This is going to have the float more on an angle here. Hard to see. I'm going to see if I can set up a light here, guys, so you guys can kind of see what it looks like inside the tank if I don't break anything. So we're going to, bear in mind here, I'm going to try and get this camera going here. And so, put a light in the tank. If you look inside the tank, you can see the Mustang sending switch, that brass float, and there's a screen down there. That sits about here above the tank. Now I want to have my float so it's not interfering with that. Now there is a little bit of a sump, but I can't go too much, so even if my float is sitting, say around the 1:30, 2 o'clock mark, somewhere around here, I think I'm going to get a good read, because that's going to be the deepest part of your tank, and to get the full float up and down. Geez, I don't know what you'd want to call it, but the pattern, everything is going to flow. So you can kind of see what I got in there. I think I should deburr that a little bit, but let's see what I can do. Maybe a little file through it. Yeah, it's designed, that float and everything is designed to sit in the sump of the gas tank. And I want to come just the side of it, that way it's not going to interfere with the suction side of it. The other float, I guess I could have trimmed it off. I figured, you know what, I'm not going to bother. I'm just going to let it be what it is. Less for me to do, but if you look inside there, I think I got a couple of filings there. I think I got to get that out. Yeah, and then the float, I got a little mark here. I put a little mark there myself. I actually got to bend that and put it in there. And that's based off of a measurement that was given off a chart for, I think it was a Dorman float. Even though this comes with the Dolphin package, I think it's identical unit. I think it'll work. I think it's a good measurement. I'm going to try it out, because this other chart that I found shows it going shorter, and I figured, you know what, if I do the longer measurement first and I'm not happy with it, I can go to the shorter measurement. But my math, 4-inch, seems like it's going to be perfect for that tank. Well, fingers crossed. So there's the mark, and that mark is 4 inches from where this bend's going to be. I got to make it shorter from that bend to the center of the float. So I'm hoping this works out right. So I'm going to put it right there so I can bend it right there and try and make it so it matches existing. I think that's a pretty good bend, maybe a touch more. I hope I didn't bugger this up. And then I should be able to give that a little cut to match. See if my hands can cut it. Nope, I'm gonna have to use something else to cut it. But I'm gonna give it a cut right there, then I can install that back on the fuel sending switch. I give it once over a nice clean, and then once I get the tank cleaned up, I should be able to do a final install on here. Mount it onto the switch right here. It'll slide in, I'll bend this back, I'll make it look nice and clean when I'm done. I'm gonna give the gasket and everything another cleanup, just make sure everything's nice and good so when I install it. Run 5 self-tappers in here. I think I'm gonna give this a clean up on the outside too, because it looks garbagey, but I think I can make it, it's more for looks. I got it clean. All right, first mistake. I realized that I read the wrong chart. I read it wrong. Right chart, read it wrong. Say that 10 times fast. Anyways, what I have to do is, when I was measuring for the arm, it has to go from the center of the, there's like a little rheostat in here. It comes from the center, not from the pinhole. Whatever, my mistake. Too long, easy enough to fix. So now I just gotta do another bend, and yeah, I'll fix it up. Give me 2 secs. I think I'm running low on battery. Okay, I got the fuel sending switch dialed in. I got 4 inches from center to center. It's exactly what I want. Got the wire tied up. Tried it in a quick one before. It fits. I'm happy with the gap at the bottom of the tank. It's not touching the bottom of the tank. It's above it. It swings up nicely. It shouldn't hit the top of the tank. It should always be like that. That'll give me a full reading. I think when it's pushed all the way up, it gives me like 95 or 100 ohms, so it's past the full. But right around here I should be good. We'll put the gasket on. Going to drop it in. I went in there with the vacuum, cleaned out all the filings I could find. I found a couple more, not too bad. Get this out of the way. I'm gonna drop it like this. And I got a little mark right here. This is gonna be straight to the front of the tank. I'll line it up, throw a couple of self-tappers in each one. That should hold it in place. Should be done. I can put this baby back on to protect the filings or anything from getting in until I get ready to install the floor. Yeah, once I get this in, I'll clean up the wiring. I got the wiring already ran. I just got to tidy up nice and neat. Maybe clip it to the other wiring loom that comes through here. Tie it into here. Should be wired up. That should be done. No problem. And then I still got the fuel line to do. That I got the parts ordered. I'm gonna go get the parts probably Monday. Get that. That'll be another project. Then I'll go over what how to do a bubble flare, so I can tie in, because this is a bubble flare on the tank and I have to tie in with rubber. But I'm gonna run a steel line to tie into my existing line. Then that should be all done. This should be done. Another video is gonna be the yoke seal. That's something else. That's another project before I start putting the wood sides on. But right on. Give me a few. Okay, I'm cleaning up the wiring. We've got the wiring along here, run to here. I think the wiring's a little long. I'm probably going to do something with this afterwards, just tightening these last screws. What I did, and I forgot to record it, is I used self-tappers on this, and then when I was done, I pulled it out, and then I went in the tank again for another vacuum, just make sure that there's no more shards in there. I've got it all in. I'm happy with the tank where it is. I'm actually going to throw the rest of the bolts in, tighten it down, and I think I'm in for good now. The next thing to do is the fuel line. That's going to be another day. Steve Rank File Forge. Hope this video helped you a little bit. If you do, please like and subscribe. I think that's the standard issue everybody says. I hope it helped. I hope there's a few things here. It gave me a chance to work through a few things that I needed to learn. And we got a gas tank in, the old truck. It's gonna be safer. That one's out. I'll run a fuel line next time, and we are doing well. Get out the garage, get dirty.